it's in your field, so you're attracting it.
Yeah, you're live.
And he needs to actually work on that.
Yeah, you're live. I just want to let you know, in case you said anything personal.
Oh, no, it's not.
No. And I'd be glad to talk to him about it and work with him on it. I don't do a lot of session work, but but I mean, or Morgan, or the three or four of us, doesn't matter. Hey, we're live. Sorry. So welcome everybody on the live in the replay on Todd's day off. This is the third and final show as planned. Who knows? We might come back on later tonight. We got a little something going on tonight. But I'm really pleased and honored to have my beautiful beloved sister, Keleena Malnar, solo with us today. Her beloved is back in Europe and will be coming back next month. I'm happy to hear that. And so Keleena's here. I'm going to allow people a little bit more time to come in. We've had a couple of really great shows today. And Diane Gabby says, one of my favorite goddess teachers. So we're going to talk a little bit about the goddess. We're going to talk about what's going on, anything else that comes up. We'll be right back in a minute, 19 seconds. So William's in the house. I see him there. He says, hello, Keleena and beautiful Todd. I'm just kidding. He said, hello, Todd, and beautiful love. Yeah, we got to keep it. We got to keep it light. We got to keep it light. So funny. This morning I put up a post, and I post a lot in Soulspeaks. Sometimes you put funny stuff up, but it's relative to related. Uh-huh. And it was a throne that it said God on it, and it said at the bottom it had a sign that said no longer here, look within. And somebody got upset with me for doing it, saying that I was basically being blasphemous or something. But we all need to lighten up. So you know me, I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
Keleena, it's good to see you.
Inner child. Thank you
for
having me.
Peter Pan. Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Peter Pan. Yeah. Inner child.
I was.
Peter Pan. It's you.
What's that?
Peter Pan is you. Your inner child.
Oh, absolutely. I'm Peter Pan. Absolutely, yeah. I am. Morgan will tell you that. She gets a little tired of it sometimes. She wants me to be the person. Aww. She wants me to be this guy all the time. But when I get off the show, I don't want to be this guy. I want to be Peter Pan. I'll be a little kid. I chase her around the house, But anyway, we won't go there. We won't go there. We won't go there because that's a whole nother show. She can't keep her hands off of me.
Yeah.
But,
she can't. I've seen her. She's a lioness.
So tell me about it. So, yeah.
Okay. My inner child's coming out now.
I know, I can see. So before I left Sedona, when we were there you were there when we got there, then you left and moved back. And before we left, because we were there, I think 3 weeks, and you were a house found you, a really cool house found you, and I saw some pictures. It looks like you really done a great job with it. It looks like a little sanctuary, and I know that's part of the reason that it appealed to you so much. I'm really happy for you. I know William's coming back next month, and things will keep going. But you are on it every day, Shakina's like that. Yeah, Shakina Rose, our friend, our mutual friend, our sister. You are. You know your role, you know your purposes, and you work it you eat, drink, and sleep it, right? And breathe it, right?
Yes.
How long has that been
24/7.
going? How long has that been going on like that?
A long time. I don't know. Well, since I came out publicly and started doing things more publicly, that was more like 2014 publicly.
Yeah, 2014.
And
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because before that I was doing stuff behind the scenes, gate work. I've done all that kind of stuff.
Plus, I
for
remember
a
you
long,
told
long
me. Yeah, I remember you telling me. I think you were in a previous relationship too, right? So it's like you come out of that too when you started to come out totally.
Yeah,
similar timeline.
I was married. Yeah, I was married, and it isn't going to work because I had on January 1st, 2015, or overnight, New Year's Eve 2014 into 2015, I soul switched, like the higher aspect of myself came in, and I just woke up and totally different. And everything was not right in my environment, is what I want to say.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I was talking to Stephen Poputek on the previous show, and we were just talking about different things, and I was telling him I remember 2015, like there was a path. Like I'm kind of typical. Mine was summer of 2011, right? So on or about 2012, a lot of people come on the show, and I know there's a lot of exceptions to that. And I was just trying to explain. Okay, so let me give you my microcosmic experience. Is this happening on the macro? And so what I was saying was that I remember 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. They were all obviously expanding. It was a lot more dense. But then in 2015, for me, later in September 2015, I met Morgan, or at least we acknowledged the meeting because I think energetically it was already happening. My point is that 2015 seems to have been a period or a different phase, like you were just talking about for yourself, where there was more palpability, there was more congealment of, understanding and awareness, collaboration, co-creation in the collective field of the Lightworker circles. Was that the way it was for you, do you feel? It seems like from that point on, everything...
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Everything shifted to another degree, and it has not gone backwards.
I know.
And it just keeps, we keep plunging into the deeper dive of awakening on a daily basis. And I want to even say like less than hourly, because I see people one way, and then I'll see them like 20 minutes later and they're different. And it's like, it's a constant right now, and it's not changing. Before it was before 2015, I remember when the ships would just hover over my house at night. And I hear the humming. It's like a real humming, like that all night. And I would get up and I can hear them. My ex never woke up. I tried to ask him if he would hear her. And after like a few years, he only once, just nothing. But I could feel myself leaving my body and going up, and then seeing myself there. And then for the tried to get up for the kids in the morning, I remember just coming back in and sometimes crashing in because there would be noise or whatever. And so that time it was space in between. I want to say for the 10 years prior to 2015, there was space in between everything that was happening, more space. But now it's coming and I just video where time's going to stand still real soon. For everyone.
Wait, let's go. I want to go back to that in a second because something happened last night. I didn't know that you did a video on that, but let's go back to that in 1 second. I want to just say, Krista Wakefield just made a really cool comment. If it wasn't for Keleena moving here and Todd and Morgan showing up in September, I would not be living in Sedona right now. awakening journey. So hilarious and
Aw.
amazing. I don't know if you, I don't know if I've met Crystal Wakefield. I may have, but I just thought that
Yeah,
was a cool
you
comment.
met.
Huh? I have?
You met Krista. You know she is. Yeah. Yep. Love you,
Okay.
Krista.
I'm bad with names. I'm really bad with names. I'm better with energy. So you just said you made a video. The time would
Mhm.
stop. Do you mind? Can you explain
Timester.
what that's about?
Yeah. Yeah. November 10th woke up at 3:33 in the morning. um, one of the things I do is aerial view. I can aerial view, so I can go over and I can see things from above. I can see inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I was aerial viewing, and then the vision in the aerial viewing, I saw everything just start to stop and stand still. The only thing that actually moved was anything that had a soul, anything that was alive, that was energy in that way. So it was animals, it was
Yeah.
people, it was nature, and that was the only thing moving. Everything was so still, and I went into the home and I saw the clocks stopped, the cars had stopped,
Uh-huh.
trains had stopped. So I went in and I meditated on it. And what I talked about in the video, what they gave me is that it's going to be received differently by everybody, and it is starting. And I did confirm this with my dear sister Sandra Walter, who
Yeah.
we talked confirming the same thing. But what I
So
saw was it's different to be received differently by each person individually.
you mean on the linear timeline and or how they perceive it?
How they perceive it.
Okay.
And what it is what I've been shown is whatever you read most is
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to stop for you. It's going to be like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you need to change this, you need to go within with this, but is going to stop. And it's like what they're calling it voids or gaps in time.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
going to happen, and it starts the end of this month.
there's a little
At
bit
the
of a
eclipse.
there's a little bit of a lag, so I'm not interrupting you. But
Okay.
it seems to be working out okay. But I wanted to say this. Oh, Crystalline. Sorry. I know Krista. I know Crystalline. She just said, haha, it's me, Crystalline. Last night, and I don't know if this is what you're describing, but it sure feels like it. And as soon as you said that, it snapped in me. Now, Morgan has a tendency to do things early, and because I'm with her, that typically happens to me too. Sometimes she'll go a little earlier and then I'll come. But let me tell you what happened last night. So because it's relevant to what you're saying. So last night we were having one of those nights where we had a busy day. We did a video together on sacred sexuality, which we don't normally do. We hadn't done one in a long time. So we were chilling out. We were needing to just chill. So we were watching a movie, a long movie. And we were just sitting there chilling, and it was probably 11:45. And I noticed at about 11:30, it started to lightly rain. So I walked over to the window and I turned on the outside light and I looked, oh, it's raining. But it was a nice, a nice equal type of, just a nice rain, a soft rain. And so I lay back down and think anything about it. And the next thing that happened, she says, I feel like something's coming in. I feel sick. Like you can get when the energy comes in. 60 seconds later, the electricity goes out. It just out. And anyway, we walked outside. It looked like it was just our house, right? The neighbor next door had it. I mean, there was a couple of houses, but it was late at night. So this is now about midnight. And I was standing out there and I said to her, this is effing weird. Like, this is weird. I feel weird. Like I've been feeling weird, like something. And she's like, me too. And it just happened. And that was the word that was used. I said, I feel like, and she said, we're in a time warp. Like, and I even did this before she said that. I said, I feel like this is what happened because I couldn't express it. I was like, okay, so it's going like this and it stops. And then it starts going the other way. Like it was in that pause. And I felt I actually felt like what you're describing, what you saw. I do the same thing. You know, I mean, I can get up and look. That's not what happened though. What I'm saying is what you saw is how I felt. So what I felt was I was standing here and looking at the X's and O's and the lines of the matrix. Like I was in a matchbox and I was a giant, basically. And her and I were the only souls in this spot. Like it was, but the energy of it was exactly what you're saying. So now you talked to Sandra about it and you got your intel as well. What is that? What does that mean? You started to talk about how the thing that you resist the most will bring on that moment, something like that. And can you elaborate on that?
Well, what they said was the things that you resist the most is what's going to come forward for you to feel or see within yourself that needs to be changed. Does that make sense? Things that you need to detach from because they're irrelevant, and time is, they're saying, disintegrating. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's just
and they
further.
just said,
Go ahead.
Okay, they just, and I don't know what this means, the conjunction point. So I don't know what that means. That's not I'm
So
the information.
Okay, this is what it's all about. I'm telling you, these synchronicities are off the chart. Okay, so last night this happened. All right, and I walked outside with the flashlight, and I was looking at the neighbor. He was on, and across the street was on, and I thought, well, this is weird. I know a little bit about construction. I've been in most of my life, and I said, there is a transformer right over here in between our yards. And it's a small transformer. And I wonder if that's where ultimately the problem is going to be, because it looks like it's only us, right? Well, the reason I'm bringing this part of it up is because an hour later, I reported it, and whatever later, must have been about 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning. This guy pulls up in the truck and he gets out with a flashlight and he walks over to the box. And he's looking at the line, and and I walked up to him and I said, this is what I've noticed. Maybe it's this transformer, this small little transformer here, that's, for whatever reason, there's just, they put a small one in. And he said, no, 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 no. It's not a transformer. It's a junction box. You just said conjunction, right? And you didn't know what I meant. So what that is like it's like almost like a small terminal where whatever it is that's being received comes in, builds up, boom, and goes out again. So again, I just mentioned that because it seemed like it fit. You're getting lit up over there. Are you going to disappear?
I always do.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good at that. Wow, that's amazing that the words that just flowed in.
Yeah.
Totally. They commend the perception of what you were streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got beings talking through me for you.
Go.
I'm not sure what that means. To follow what you perceive is to when the heart doesn't feel the truth. Does that make sense? They're always like way beyond what
I can't.
Like what?
I was follow what you receive. I didn't catch it.
Follow what you perceive. Didn't get the rest of it. Well, I forgot. I don't know.
Follow what you perceive. Yeah, we'll keep going. Let's keep going.
They're like showing me literally this collapse of the third dimensional reality, and and the fourth dimensional is like there, but it's pixelated, if that Makes sense, is what they're showing me. It's the destruction. Okay, it's the destruction of linear time. I have to tell you what I did this morning. Okay, this needs to come up. Okay, and fourth dimension is like very pixelated. It's not solid, but it's not gone, if that makes sense. It's not fourth dimension. They're not showing solid. I don't understand. It looks very see-through.
Translucent.
Yes, and it very an energetic energy, lots of energy, wavy, flowy. Like when I see a portal for me, when I go and see portals and I'm out working on the land, they're like just energy, and they look wavy, like when the heat on the road is rising, when it's too hot. This is what they're showing me, but it's like pixelating, and it's showing this like translucent energy. I'm not sure why they're showing me this, but it has something. Okay. I need to tell you what I did this morning, but go ahead.
No. I was just picking up on what you said, and it's the time, fourth dimension time, right? It's a linear time being an element, right? And man, I'm getting like, okay, so what you said earlier, okay, I got it now. So what you said earlier was about the whole thing about time stopping, and that somehow or another, the correlation of what we're resisting to come up so that we can see it until we can clear it, then would further disintegrate the illusion of time. So in other words, it's there for that purpose, for us to see the stuff that we've not dealt with or released or integrated or whatever you want to call it. And as we do, then it further dissipates. I get what you're saying, and I don't even know what I'm saying, but go ahead and tell me what happened this morning. This is cool.
They're saying it released the distortion of your linear reality. That's what they just said. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got Bashar back here. Little bald man. So this morning I woke up, and I have those. I don't know if you know I have these. I have big skulls.
I saw those
that were gifted to me. So they're tools for me. I use them, and they're activated for work that I do. And this morning I got up, and they like immediately connected when I was walking through. They said I needed to do something with them. I connected with them, and they said, because they're a pair, they're twins, and they can't separate them. They said together, we are at the equator. And I was like, okay, am I supposed to do something? And they said, yes. Join them. So what happens, I get encapsulated in their energy, encapsulated in their energy, and it's like a tunnel. This beautiful pink quartz, like ruby ray tunnel, which is the goddess ray I work on. And I just went right into the earth. And they said, you need to destroy, you need to the candle of time. And I was like, a candle of time. I was like, what? And my little what? But higher self said, okay, let's go do this. And I went through this tunnel just like at lightning speed, and I ended up in this cave inside the earth, and went through, and I could feel the heat. It was so hot at the equator. I could feel the heat as I was going down into the tunnel, and it was gradually getting cooler. Walking through, and these skulls were like, they would light up the tunnel for me. And in this pink glow, I could see in front of me this area where I can see light coming out of the wall. And so I started moving these knocking them down, and inside there, this may sound strange to people, but this is the stuff that we do. There was this big black candle, and it was huge. And I went in, and it was like, it was this like the height of your body. It was probably about 5 feet tall, and it had etching on it all around it. Which as soon as I looked at the etching, it didn't feel good for me.
Right.
And they said the light clears and they said, you know what to do. So they said it's time to put out hands of time of greed. So I had to do some things, all kinds of light language came through, and things, and at the same time that I went to blow with a tone to blow this flame out, my hands just went right over it, and water just started out of my hands at the same time, and everything just went. It just like stopped, and it was like sizzling, and I can hear screaming, and and Archangel Michael shows up for me. He always shows up, and he took this big thing, and I was just saying, for the greatest good of the planet Earth and the humanity, and for him to take this away, dissolved in love, it's no longer serving its purpose. So it was just taken, and it wasn't like all of a sudden his legion just showed the whole room and started transforming the energy there, and just started going through the earth, called in the violet flame and all that fun stuff. But whoa, okay, so this is a little part of what's going to be happening. There's other people out there that are doing this stuff as well, different things. That's what I had. I was like,
right
okay,
on.
when I was
That's
flying.
Yeah. Well, there is this momentum. You can see it. I think maybe that's part of the reason why the distortions are getting so ridiculous, right? Let's just put it that way, because of the fact that they're becoming more extreme. It's more in your face, which is a copy of what's happening to us on a local level, right? But at the same time, like what you're talking about and what I'm observing in other people, myself, Morgan, so on, there's this momentum developing like a wave. She said to me this morning, 30 days. And I said, what 30 days? Because I was still off planet. 12/21, 21/12. This weekend has been huge. I jumped on midday Friday because I was told, get on. I just did a show and I had one more to do later. I want to go lay down and get horizontal, which happens a lot, that. And but I jumped on and did a radio. Well, I thought I was going to do a radio program where I played videos and stuff, but I heard like, no, you need to talk. Like, okay, so I talked, and I didn't know what I usually know, I snap, or I just didn't feel it. Sometimes when I do that, most of the time when I do that, I feel it. I'm pumped up. I turn on some music and then I start freestyling. This was different. And then I looked at the date at the bottom right of my computer, and it was 11/20/2020. And then it dawned on me, oh, wait a minute. So that the ones and the twos in a pattern was Friday, Saturday, and today. Right, and so there's something about this weekend, and then like what you pulled down, what we experienced last night, the fact that we did a show unbeknownst to the date. We hadn't done a show since I don't even know when. It's been a long time since her and I've done a show together. But yeah, so everything is like, even Sandra came on Wednesday. We've had some, Marie Batchelor was on, that was powerful. Franco was on Thursday. I don't know, there's something happening. That's the way I describe it. It's like a momentum. It's like a wave. I can see it, and it's just like getting bigger and bigger. And in the linear world, it's off the radar, but in the world that's becoming more visible, it's like front and center. Anyway, that's my take on it.
Absolutely. Today, every time I picked up my phone, I was getting the codes of 11. Like I'm going to show you, see if I can show those to you. Okay, 11/22 on November. So 11/22, 11/20, and then the percentage on my thing, 47, which is 11. And so the one thing I know about today is I actually have codes that I'm going to do here. It's the higher awareness. 11, the one is actually a masculine energy, but because one represents the or the line, and William talks about one does, and the 0 actually represents the feminine, the circle. Today it's 11/22/2020, and so we've got the masculine and the feminine at peace, because 22 is actually the number and the architect of peace. And so this is the information that they gave me. So today I was getting downloaded with codes to actually bring on today, and I was like, okay. So we are really highly and in this creative ability right now that we are to take advantage of. When the 21st of December comes, is going to be that of what they showed me. That's the big day where I see the Christ child birthing and everything. Because right now the baby's in the birth canal. It was the head in October in the birth canal. Now the baby's in the birth canal on December 21st. That birth. So the inner child that everybody has been trying to connect with, and that have done all this work and have been going through this year, is going to be birthed to you. It's a new beginning on that day. And that, again, you've got the same numbers. You've got the 1 and 2, 1, 2, 21, and I mean, same codes. But that day also is going to be a big push for people, because it's the energy starting on what they're showing me and feeling. And it's the big push to finally leave behind the stuff that you know does not work for you anymore. It's going to be this massive push, which is like, it's pushing you out of the water. Okay. Just like the birth, but it's like pushing you up and out, and like you're holding on a platform now. Platform yourself with, and leave all the rest behind, and just allow it to disintegrate and deteriorate, and let go for good. It's no longer needed. Yeah,
that's and I've heard, of course, Morgan, but I've actually heard other people, women, talking about the same thing. You know, the conception being in March and the different stages. Now she pulled something down. It was probably a week ago, maybe a week to 10 days ago, I remember. And because it started down here, we were sitting there talking, we weren't even connecting, and she started telling me about her pregnancies, you know, like the end of her pregnancy. Like, and I'm like, why is she telling me this? Well, I didn't realize that she was already getting pulled in. So when we went and laid down, put our hands together, she started talking about how some pregnancies go 36 weeks, some 37, some 38, 39, and 40. So the intel was, you're going to start seeing the birthing of the golden child energy, and that's what I was getting at. And almost immediately, I saw a couple of examples, and then I saw it with us, which again, not in a non-linear fashion. Like in, you know, this moment, that moment, that moment, you put them all together and it's one moment of the birthing. But that's exciting to me. Like that's like, and the reason I'm so excited, one of the reasons I'm so excited about what's coming, what's upon us, is in my experience with the universe, it's almost like you can expect the unexpected, but not that way. More like you might think you know what's going to happen. You might get a little intel, but the way it comes out just blows your mind. That's what I feel. I feel like whatever's going to come, whatever that's going to look like, is going to be like mind blowing. Not in a way like, oh my God, let me sit down. My heart's beating too fast, and more like, wow, this is not going away. Like, this is not a dream, and this is not like, given all the disclosure and all the different elements that the emphasis being on us, on you and me and all our brothers and sisters.
Yes, absolutely. They're saying this transition is upfront and personal, meaning it's actually individualistic with each person, okay, for their own process. However, it is also collective at the same time, is what they're saying. And okay, I'm going to take exactly what they're saying. Each individual upon this planet is representing something different and is going to be clearing something different. And so when you think of all the persons on this planet, 8 billion people, 8 billion different perception, 8 billion experiences, 8 billion different realities all at once, having a transformation that is transient to this self.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Transient to the self. I don't know what that means.
Well, it's, I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally get what it's another, you know, I mean, I was told 9 years ago, there's a divine order, like, you know, golden rule, what goes around comes around, cause and effect, and that we're all one unique and equal soul. So like, I understood that like everybody is a piece of that cosmic jigsaw puzzle. In terms of like what you're saying, you know, so Morgan put it a different way years ago. She told me the road to oneness is through individuality. So I totally get what you're saying. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a different dimension, right? Because like, we know, you hear the words as within, without, but it's like they're happening at the same time, and they're actually becoming one, right? And it's weird because we're used to looking at things with 2 eyes. So what are we looking at with 3 or 4 or what? I can't put my finger on it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Eyes of the heart.
Eyes of the heart. Yeah. There you go.
That's what my guides have taught me for years. Eyes of the heart. They're saying it's like Source is having its own transformation through all of us.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Right on.
So if Source is having its own transformation through all of us, and Source is transforming, what is happening to Source is what I'm just, that just came.
It's doing the same thing we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Expanding.
So higher
I mean, we're the imaginary cells of the body collective. Oh God, I'm actually, yeah, I'm getting lit up the whole time I've been on this show after about the first 5 minutes. But
ja sana kya niamisyan tanara sa takirata tisikro putuko usakata ayento sisi kata upu nene ata. You never know what's going to come through. Oh. I've got a lot of stuff.
Let that permeate for a second.
I need to do these activations because they're like random. I'm just going to pop this one in. There might be some tones, so I don't know if it'll bother your ears.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Senyana manyana haratu hayanu ahanai ayunana santyana no aunamahayane ashunnamarahunayane ahay. Na te itor nasatas Satamarate, Kikiri Kitara Sut, Sharakara Santamur, Nemyana U Darar, Kasat, Sate, Mita. Rise in the energy. Aayininyana otukotaras sasasiyanne minyar. Honmahanasay Manahayahonay Ahai Ashutas Makayasas.
It's a big day.
Yeah. I'm really high.
It's a big day. I know, me too, man. I went through stages earlier today, early all weekend. But when we connected, like it's all in my head, like all the energy's in my head and throat. A lot of throat stuff going on.
I feel it. That's why when the stuff was coming through, my inner being like starts feeling on his body on myself because I become what needs to be released, and went right there. I went here and then, but wait down to the solar plexus. I actually saw a big flashy yellow when stuff was coming out, and then I see so yeah, it was, and it's not just you. It's remember that with who you are and the amount of people on here, they're carrying that has to be cleared. So you're feeling it from them as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so for me, for me, I always feel it. It's all me. Like, that's what I'm just trying to figure out.
It's everyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so in my, like I can tell because I get the tickle. So like, I'm like, okay, am I supposed to do light language? Because I don't feel like it. And, but it's always multiple meanings and multiple purposes. Right. So like, I already know where it's going, like 3 or 4 different streams of it. Something's tonight, something's now that I haven't quite put my finger on. And it's definitely works though. That was I like that freestyle, that multi-universal linguist freestyle.
That's me, cosmic goddess. I'll bring it in. But it's the multidimensional quantum energy healer. Like William does it too. We feel immediately whatever energy we're connected to, we feel it, and then because we give it back to you on your body. If that makes sense. So like when we do that with clients, I'll start tuning into them. That I become their energy. He becomes their energy. But then they're like, oh, my throat. Oh, my. It's like, well, yeah, that's where your thing is that needs to be clear.
Right on.
Well, that's all good. We're doing it for everyone.
So how's I know you've been busy in Sedona. Have you made a lot of? I know you've connected with Shekina. Have you made a lot of connections? Are you doing a lot of collaborative work over there?
Yeah, I was 11/11 doing gate work with Sandra and a lot of lovely sisters. for a few hours with them, and then, but I've done some of Sandra's stuff before with her when I've been out here. It was nice to actually meet some of the new sisters, some of the sisters that we're going to gather in a few days. And, Giselle and Sarah, I've been hanging out. We're going to collaborate with some stuff for 2021.
Right on.
And I've met some other people that I'm going to be connecting with, but Keleena and I will be doing some stuff. Kelena's going to be a guest at my 12-12-12 event.
Right on.
With William and
I. Sandra told me about the last one. I guess it would have been what, 11/11, where the women formed a circle and the men stood outside the circle. Yeah, that sounded very powerful when she was telling me about it. I could see it. Right on.
It's really powerful.
And so this 2-day, what'd you say, the 12th and 13th? That's going to be 12. Okay. Is it 1 day or 2 days?
It's 2 days. 12, 12, and 13. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I couldn't hear you. So that's going to be you and William. Shekina's going to be a little add-on to that. How many people do you think are coming? Where do you think, where are you going to have it? And just tell us a little bit about it.
It's actually the event that I've been doing for years. It's been Sisters of the Rose. It's actually Brothers of the Rose, but I call it Sisters and Brothers of Light in Unity now, because William and I will activate the codes within. We always activate the codes within everyone after a nation first. So it's 2 full days. It's not like a 4-hour thing. You have 2 full days with us, and activate codes for purification, healing, releasing, opening up suppressed and dormant DNA. And then the next day we do actually activations and initiations for Brothers of Light, right? Whether it's a Magdalene, Sister of the Rose kind of thing, or it's Melchizedek, whatever. It's the new geometry of it, though. It's not the old stuff. So I know there's people in the old ones, but from the last, when I've been doing it, it's new. My guys have told me this is not the old program. Right. All at a higher level. And one of the last things that I want to say, because a lot of people are like, am I going to be bound to, like in past lives, you'd be bound or a queen or a priestess or a priest if you did this stuff. And that's one of the last things I do is I have this big thing we all say out loud. You are God's sovereign to these activations, and therefore your own process. You are not bound to William and I. You're not bound to anyone else. That's, just because we're here to help you with your transformation and to find your path. And what this stuff does is it takes you on the path. So it helps people understand who they are and where they are going in their life, what their spiritual work is.
Right on.
And it's a process.
Right on. And sovereign is sovereign, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a big. I guess that's what self-empowerment. Ultimately, that's the product of self-empowerment is a higher level of sovereignty, alignment, expansion, growth. It's going to be exciting. Yeah. Somebody was telling me, "Oh, I can't wait till 2020." They were saying, "I can't wait till 2021." Somebody was telling me yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, "Dude, there's still 40 days left in this year, and you know how the rest of the year's been." Every year seems like it's, every month seems like it's 5 years longer than the previous month. So, man, I'm keeping my eyes open and my higher sensitivities clear. And I got my nose to the grindstone and my ear to the ground, trying to hear what's coming. But yeah, it is exciting. And I'm a little bit anxious, but I want to stay present. I think that's
absolutely
important.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's the most important thing. And I'm sorry, I did forget to say that actual gat's going to happen at a center. It's now going to be held in my home, so it's going to be.
That's why I was asking. But I didn't want to.
Yeah. But it's on the website. On my website, people go. So it's all about being in the moment, and just like you're like I am, and William. Saying we can't remember like stuff from the previous day. or like 10 minutes before. I'm like, wait, was I supposed to do something? If I don't put reminder notes down to do something or something that I was working on earlier, it's gone. It's just like, okay, I'm just focusing on right now because nothing else matters.
Same here.
Like even to pay bills, I just have to remind myself to pay bills.
I know. That's the first thing I thought when the lights went out last night. I thought, wait, did I pay the bill? You know? But it happens. It happened to me. Okay, so like there was 4 people that I wanted to. Weekends are really my only time to get anything done, right? Like go through all messages, emails, and so there was 4 people I wanted to connect with to keep the ball rolling with the website and the network and all that. So one of them I told, I'll hit you up Saturday. Another one I said I would see him in person yesterday. And the other 2 I didn't even like make an attempt. But anyway, the bottom line is I didn't write to the first one. I didn't say, hey, I'm not going to be able to, the second one, I told him Saturday or Friday, I'll be over your place. I didn't call him. I didn't message him. I didn't go over. So this morning I'm off planet, and I know, I got 3 shows today. And I'm like, I sent the first one a note and I said, I apologize for not contacting you and not coming over. I was flat on my butt all day yesterday, just basically laid in bed all day, but yeah, I get what you're saying. And it's I'm past the point of like judging myself, but I'm trying to act in integrity at the same time, but it's still working itself out. I'm being honest about it. Yeah,
absolutely. And I like the fact that you said you're past the point of judging yourself, because I actually still do that a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a dunce. I do that. I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, don't say that because I don't want to create that. But I feel like that just anything. But I'm just so here. Now I want to ask you, because this week with William and we had these like moments day where we were like highest blissed out love level there. It was just like, all day long, the connection. And then the next day was like, gotta clear some. And then I was going back. I was like, okay, there's waves coming.
No, we had a really powerful, expansive, kind of like that. October was some of that. This month, though, especially this past week, was like, there wasn't a lot of processing going on. There was a lot of love. I mean, there was a lot of that. And then that translated into some major, sacred sexual vibratory experiences, both in what I guess physical intimacy and not. But the air of it, we're just looking at each other going, like I would say one day, it would have been like, say, Thursday, we had an incredible 6-7 nights in a row, just incredible stuff going on. And so the next day, at the end of the day, I had like 4 or 5 shows that day. She said, I missed you all day long. I said, I know exactly what you mean. Like I can, like there's something happening. I totally get that first part of what you said. This, I don't know, like your heart's just going to explode, right? But it's not just that. It was actually how we connected as well. And it was eye gazing. It was vomiting. Okay, we're laying down together. We put our hands together. We might move over and get a little, kiss. I'm not talking like, tongue down the throat or nothing. I'm just, a kiss and a very pure. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Get away from me!" The energy would come in, and she'd have to. I actually had to go get her a bowl. She actually puked in the bowl, and then it happened to me. Then it happened to me. We had this incredible experience where we're merging the physical and the non-physical, and oh my God, it was just like, whoa, where are we going? I get up the next day and all the furniture in the bedroom's like destroyed. Just kidding. Oh, I'm so bad. But my point is I wanted to like lay down with her, like and let's go to sleep in each other's. And I got out of the bed. I went into the bathroom on my knees throwing up. and it's because of the energy, it's
Yeah.
physicalizing. And so like yesterday, all I heard yesterday, as she left, she was gone and she had sessions. I was laying on the couch and I could feel like this. I don't even know how to describe it, but it would be like from the inside out, a tingling, but it was more of almost like a muscular tingling. So I tapped in and I was like, okay, what's going on? And I saw all the cells in my body, they were basically transfiguring. They were in the process of transforming,
Recalibrating
carbon to more light, and I could see there was a blue, there was a very powerful that I've seen before, a kind of a blue between like an aqua and a darker blue, whatever that color is. And then there was a yellow, and then there was this dance of the pink, the little light pink and blue, masculine, feminine, like in the center of the cell. They were like going, yeah. So it's that's what happened to us. And although we did do a lot of clearing. In fact, for 7 days in October, 7 days we didn't even talk to each other. The only thing we said was, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? And most of the time I would write that. But for 7 days, so I don't know if we just did it up front or what, but for 7 days, I was in one bedroom, she was in the other bedroom. But I got to tell you, man, coming out of that 7 days has been a massive expansion. Really has been.
And I think that's what, like, for time, William and I are not together physically because of his visa stuff. We go through this growth and expansion every time.
Yeah.
But like this week, we also had that at night. I feel him when I goes wraps right around me and just squeezes me tight. And the physical is there for me because it doesn't feel like he's gone. I feel him kissing me. So it's, even though we're not present in each other's lives physically, it doesn't matter because the veil's so thin. Julie's right there. He's right there. But the other thing that you were talking about with the recalibration of your cells, that DNA shifting at that cellular, it's like when the active goes through the cellular life. The one thing they showed me that I did a webinar on October 31st was with this transition. And I have this veil, people who want to get it. It's on my website, but I want to explain this. The activations that I was shown to do, I have my board over there, but on purpose, were separated during the changes that we all went through as humans. And so there was the middle, and this disintegrating in the middle, and the activations that I was doing was lighting the brain up on both sides as gold. And through these activations, this whole hemisphere is coming in together as one. You're not going to have the right unless it's going to, and it's there. Then your connection. But this lit up, the brain lit up, and you had the blue color, masculine energy, and then you had pink with the divine feminine, the mother. You had the mother, father, and the Christ child. And that's the connection to source. That's that vertical connection.
See, now
and
that
when
you
I was
say
shown
that,
all that,
now that you say that, I just realized what was happening, because I've seen it before different ways. But when I was looking at those cells, so it really was, I think what it was the, obviously the blue and the pink dancing in the middle. We know what that was. But the yellow was a gold. It was a gold rim. That's what it was. And that, I guess, was the, what would you call it? Like the embryo of the golden child energy. Now that I see that, I can see it now. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I've watched that happen a lot, and I almost wanted to ask you. I'm sorry, ask myself yesterday. I was like, going, okay, what happens when the blue and the pink come together? Then now I just answered the question. It's the gold. Yeah, it's a golden child. So, okay, where do people find you? Is it KeleenaMalnar.com, right? Is that right?
Yeah, KeleenaMalnar.com.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, I never remember anybody's. Believe me, I don't remember anything. So
You did.
we got
Good.
KeleenaMalnar.com people, sessions. You've got some group stuff going on, some other stuff on your website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some new
very
stuff
cool.
going on. We're gonna do partner retreats here.
Sacred
One
partner
couple
retreat.
of
Oh,
William and I are
that's
going to be working
sexy.
with.
That's sexy. That's sexy. I have a beautiful sister, a friend in California, out in East California. I can't remember, like Bakersfield, that area. Anyway, she's a goddess, and she does yoni steams. She does Reiki. She does, and it's all in her house. And I talked to her the other day, and she said, "I'm having my first couple." I forget what she called it, but they both do a steam, and then she goes, "I got this big blow up mattress." I'm like, "What's going to happen?" like you better just like leave the whole house for him, because you don't know what's going to happen after that. But I think we're going to see more of that stuff happening in the physical, like more open, in all forms. I think of facilitation. Because so much has changed, right? Like that we talked about that before, and yeah, so that's very cool. So are you and William going to conduct them together, or are you going to be doing them?
Do the couple things together, because through our own experience in this process, also with the information that I receive from the Mr. Air and the Temple of Love and all that stuff, the information just flows through. And so we're going to do like the tantric method. Like we talked about tantra on your show once before, when him and I were on. It's not part where you sit in front of each other and you do the mirroring. We're going to do so much different stuff. Home cleansing, we'll be doing that as a sacred ceremony. All kinds of healing activations.
Right.
There will be purging or releasing, but we will sit with them until they understand, how in one of these sacred partnership, and it doesn't even have to be that kind of. It could just be any relationship. How you mirror each other and how it. Not saying we're perfect, but we know the process.
Yeah. This is part of your role. Yeah. Far out.
Yeah, it is.
All right, man. This is the third. Three's a great number, right? So this is it for today. And it's great taking the day out with Keleena. And on that other thing, William, just tell him to hit me up. I'll be glad to talk to him about that, because I have personally experienced it and I know how to alleviate that issue. But it's good seeing you. I can't wait to see you again in person. And we'll just stay in touch, and I'll hit you up next month when William's back, and see if we can catch up with you. Thank you for everything that you do.